Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we have to talk about it. It does not appear sometimes, but the USA empire is crumbling right underneath your feet. You can't feel it yet, but it's coming. And the plans have already been laid where you are going to be the sacrificial lambs. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. Are you ready for it now? Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Things are getting a little bit hairy. You may not know what I'm talking about, but if you stay tuned, we'll get into it because things may seem hunky dory. Things may seem financially correct, but the underpinnings, underlying financial situation is at dire straits. It's only being held on because the system is being abused to hold on. That's why they have to come for your retirement, your pension, your Social Security, your Medicaid, your health care. They got to drag money out from wherever they can to keep this facade going. But you guys, you're smart. Make sure you share the video, smash that like button, and let the others know their day is going to come where you won't have any safety nets. Now, what are we going to do about it? That's always the magic bullet. And those who prepare and stay prepared win. Those who don't, you can only try to save the ones that want to get a life vest. Let's go. Now, I want to hear from you guys because tonight we have a lot of subject matters to talk about. One being is that EV place purchased from Opine Furniture in the Dominican Republic. I wanted to go over what he ordered because he did send me the list. So we're going to talk about that tonight for all the Dominican Republic buyers of real estate who think that they have to buy their packages. And yes, you do have to buy the packages. If you are in a condo hotel, you have no choice if you're going to rent your unit. And the other factor is you may not be able to rent your unit even if you're not in a condo hotel because a lot of the projects are saying you have to buy our package, our furniture package, in order to be into the rental program. So, where does that leave you if you're in those situations, which is going to become prevalent as developers, management companies start looking for money when they may not have the renters, but they will guarantee themselves money if they make it mandatory that you have to rent through them, and they can get 25 to 30% of the revenue from every rental in the building just by simply putting it on an Airbnb, vacation, Vacata, anything. And they can get 25 to 30% when you could have done it all along, all by your lonesome. That will be the next move. But anyhow, we have other bigger fish to fry. The USA empire is crumbling and they're scrambling to hurt you and your kids and your great grandkids and whoever is a citizen, whoever makes money in this country is about to be abused unless you're the one holding the assets. Assets are very clear. You buy something and you get a return back in the same currency that you put it in. I should clarify why I use currency at this point. Because when you put money into cryptocurrency, for instance, you get nothing back. When you buy gold, silver, precious metals, you get nothing back. So, are you staying even? Are you staying ahead? Or what is it? But if I buy a dividend stock and they continue to give me dividends, regardless of the economy, then you have money coming in from your investment. If I buy into a business and they're giving me checks every month from the profits, that's an asset. If I buy real estate and I rent and I have profit coming in every month, that's an asset. If I have a car and I turn it into a taxi, I turn that liability into an asset if I'm making profits. Do you understand? The things that I'm talking about is hands on. The reason I'm saying hands on is because in the crumbling empire, you know what starts happening? The signs are already here. The middle class, the upper middle class, lower classes are wiped out. They're financially stressed. They can't do anything. And I got news for you. Lower, upper, and middle class is the engine that makes a country grow. Once you lose them, how is the country going to sustain itself? That's where we are right now. We're on the teeter totter and it's sliding downward because the weight of a country is on the bottom. So the top is coming down slowly but surely. So you're going to have to be prepared out here. Remember when I said 5 years ago the middle class was going to be wiped out? Check. Remember when I said 5-6 months ago that the upper middle class is going to be wiped out in the next 2 years? Check. Book it now. Wish I could bet on it. You are going to be in trouble. Let me see who's in the house tonight. EV Place is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live stream. Greatly appreciated to see you once again. And he brings a tagline. Good evening. I'm glad you got my my furniture quote. It's hard not to share this with our community. Exactly, EV Place, because there's a lot of people out here. I'm telling you right now, 1 bedrooms, furniture packages, 10, 12, 15,000 now, of course. 2 bedroom packages, 15, 20, 25. I've even heard 30,000, which I'm like in shock. I'm like, how can you even get to 30,000 for a 2 bedroom condo? Even a 2 bedroom penthouse condo, how can you get to 30,000? That's damn near impossible. But I understand. They got to make additional money because they know the cost of living and the cost of goods and service and building is going to cost more. So they'll take 5 grand, 10 grand out of the furniture package and apply it towards profits. I get it. I understand where they're coming from a business standpoint, but you know what that means? It means you're now stressing the financial network of the individual buying. So that means less buyers because it's going to cost them more money to enter the market. It works that way no matter what you're doing or what you're investing in. It goes around. Mathematics do not lie. All right, here we are. BTC is at 110K. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're speculating with crypto. But you know why things are going higher with crypto? Things have went higher with gold and silver. There's a reason, because people are looking for where they can put their money that they're not going to lose anything. People are willing. Let me explain something right now, because a lot of people do not study world history. They only study where their country is or their immediate connecting country's history. You need to look at world history all the time. Nothing is new under the sun. This has already happened for the European empires. Britain, France, Spain, Roman, Italy, all of them were empires at one time. They all crumbled the same way. But here, I keep telling you, if you pay attention just 25 years ago, 2000 to 2012, and the European EU had to be formed because they were running into the same problem. They were having a crumbling empire crisis, so they had to join forces. They were like, hold on, man, all of us are about to go. So what did they do? They changed their banking system, which allowed crazy stuff, allowed you to have zero negative interest rates, no less. All that did was mean people couldn't save money. There was no safe haven. There was no such thing as crypto in 2000, 2005. So that's off the table. The only other choice they had was putting money in gold and silver, just trying to stay level, stay even. But unfortunately, you know what the governments did around the world? They said, oh, these guys are going to go do gold and silver. You know what? Why don't we make some silver reserve notes and gold reserve notes made of paper and put it on the stock market? So that would stop people from buying actual real gold and silver and start buying paper. And you know, paper is worthless. You can just chop it up, cut it, rip it up, do whatever, and said, poof, gone. So that eliminated the gold and silver markets from being the markets that they should be. Same thing with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto. You're subverting the currency system. Be careful. Be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. But you're going to have to go along for the ride. You have to. You know why? Because the rich people are buying this, and that's why the price is going up. You have corporations, you have ETFs, you have all this buying up crypto, ETH, Ethereum. You should be too, because it's going up 25% annually. That's BTC and ETH. You can't ignore these price increases. Like I said, don't let me find my little freaking 20, 30 Bitcoin right now. I'd be awfully happy, or more. I think like I said, I think it's either 3 cents or 33 cents that I had for about $10. So whatever that ends up being, that's what it is. Could be 30 or more. Could be 90, somewhere between 30 and 90. I don't really care. But the point is 60% of all BTC is locked. I'm one of those locked individuals. Maybe one day it'll show up in some paperwork somewhere but I keep all my paperwork, so it could happen. All right, enough of the grandiose ideas. I don't have it. But the point is, you have to go where the big boys play. Otherwise, the crumbling empire is going to fall in on you, and nobody can save you because everybody's searching for a life raft. Now, it's Wealthy Wednesday. We're going to get into it because you guys aren't seeing the signs, apparently, that most people who have a little bit of time are seeing, because you're too busy working, you're too busy scrambling, you're too busy going, damn, my God, doggone electric bill. Didn't I just pay this? How did 4 weeks, 3 weeks go by this fast? Gas bill just showed up again. I got to do tree trimming, pruning. What? I got to go mow the lawn. I got to clean up the yard. I got to hire somebody. What the hell's going? Wait a minute. Registration for my car is due. My insurance is due. What the hell's going on? Every time I turn around, oh, credit cards, credit due. Got to pay that. You got to keep track of everything. And oh, by the way, you got to get a real ID now, or use your passport to travel inside the United States. Take your pick. I mean, every day, every week, there seems to be something that you need to do. If you got a job, I feel for you. Going to work and, oh, I got to file my taxes. Oh, I run a business, so I got to file business taxes, payroll taxes. Got to file with the state every quarter. all this stuff starts adding up. Oh, is my insurance covered? Oh my God, I forgot. What about my house insurance? Is that paid? Is my car insurance? Is that paid? And then if you have the toys, is the RV insurance, is the motorcycle insurance? All this stuff is adding up, ladies and gentlemen. They're inundating you. So you don't have time to protect yourself. You better make time. Let's start getting into some other things, all right? M2 is climbing up. DXY is going down. It's nothing we couldn't see in the past cycles. But I'm agree. It's wild out there. Some players are buying TC and shorting MSTR. Exactly. That you want to, okay, you know why they're shorting. First of all, I love what you're saying about shorting MSTR. You can't short MSTR. Well, you can because of the fluctuations with BTC and the markets. But the reality is, MSTR has a record, just like BTC, of around 25% annual increase of returns. 25%. That's pretty hefty. So, and this year is not going to be any different. If this BTC stays even at 110, it's going to be higher than that if it goes up to 120, and it probably can, because all the rich dudes are piling in saying, oh yeah, we'll go with this fake, not backed by anything currency. What's the difference? It's the same as the dollar as far as we're concerned. We'll deal with that. Banks are going, okay, we'll sign up too. We'll bypass buying gold and silver because, see, gold and silver is in the hands of the world. So is crypto. But gold and silver have a different connotation because you can go to any country with gold and silver and turn that into whatever currency you're in. Crypto is not allowed by all countries. So that is one of the things that people keep forgetting. I can't be anywhere in the world and get my crypto. That's the thing. Well, you got to use a VPN if they'll even allow your VPN onto their network. That's what people keep forgetting about. That ought to scare a lot of people. If they turn off your electricity, then what? Just like if they cut off your bank account or ATM card, then what? They cut off your credit, then what? So M2 is climbing. DXY is going to exactly all that. Now, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to protect yourself. If you can't protect yourself, you're done. Don't come calling later saying, help, help, help. I'm not going to be able to help you because I don't know where I would be. I'd be just like the other millionaires or billionaires. I'm not either one of those, but I damn sure would not be in a crumbling empire. Why would I sit here in a crumbling empire when you don't have to? If you have already made your choices where you said, let me invest outside of the United States so that way I have a landing spot that I can actually come and be a good human in their society because I'm investing in that country. So why would I sit here and stay in the crumbling empire with chaos when you could be sitting somewhere else in semi chaos? Let's just put it that way. All right. And you're doing it legally and don't have to worry about whatever comes down the pike, because a lot of things can unfold here when people start talking about, I don't know what working for our government and they don't know what habeas corpus means. I'm just like, holy smokes. We have a administration that individuals do not know what habeas corpus means. And they're in charge of laws. I'm like, oh, this means United States citizens could be grabbed, kept locked up indefinitely, and not seeing a judge, no court of law, no nothing, and nobody knows where you are. When people are acting dumb like this over constitutional law, you should be scared. I'm giving you warnings right now. I've been giving you warnings for the last 5 years. But now we're getting down to something I never predicted entirely would happen this soon, this fast. We're in a constitutional crisis. So if you think you're going to be safe because of the color of your skin, you have another thing coming. Good luck. All right. Here we go. At some point, BTC will start to roll down and people will sell BTC and buy alts. Yeah, I agree with that. And as of right now, people are buying alts and gaining. You know how alts, when BTC rises, alts have this 3, 4, 10, 20 alts to go from 5 cents to $5 and then crash back down for a pump and dump. But in the meantime, quite a few people will be millionaires. I mean, I've seen this over and over for the last 15 years. It's been incredible. So that happens. High risk, high rewards. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is very serious out here. You can't be playing around anymore. This is your freedom is at jeopardy. You're moving around from state to state, driving down the street is in jeopardy. Your financial future is in jeopardy because what is happening through our Senate and House, oh my God, cutting Medicaid. Your health care could be, they're cutting Medicaid to do a tax cut for the rich. This is a wake-up call. They're not going to care about your health care. They're not going to care about the elderly. They're not going to care about the veterans' health care. They're not going to care about funding public schools, but they're going to give money to private schools. What does that tell you? Looking out for the rich. Meanwhile, you're on your own. And oh, by the way, you're supposed to earn everything on your own merit. Meanwhile, you have a lot of people in power positions that are friends of a friend of a friend, nephew of a friend, grandson of a friend, friends of a friend who never did jack crap but be trust fund kids. And they're telling people how to do their jobs and say, oh, you'll be able to scrape by. Don't worry. Yeah, well, you'll be able to scrape by. Ladies and gentlemen, this scrape by thing, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, that's bullshit. I'm not seeing all these people that pull themselves up the bootstraps telling other people to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. I'm seeing trust fund people. Trust fund kids are in government. The rich kids are in government. The governor's kid, the senator's kids. That's who I'm seeing. I'm seeing some kids that are it's not in the real case Microsoft kids, but I'm just saying the trust fund kids are running the freaking asylum and acting like it's their own private playground while the 250 to 60 to 300 million people are held hostage. Women, you can't even take care of your own bodily functions without somebody trying to say, oh, hold on, I need to check and make sure it's allowed or not allowed. This is very bad. Very bad. So now, financially, do you not think that one day they're just going to go, hey, why are we even letting these guys play with us? Why don't we just cut off their shit? Yeah, I'm using foul language now. Remember, we're demonetized. Big boy club. Why are we allowing them to play with us? Why are we allowing them to invest in our stock market? The top 10% own 93% of the stock market. The top 10% of the wealthiest in the world own 93% of the stock market. Why are we letting them come along, tag along for the ride? Why don't we just take their money out the banks? FDICs, they're not funded enough to cover everybody. So those people, too bad, so sad, just don't get any FDIC because they're not rich. Only the rich people are going to get FDIC protection at $250,000. Just like they did at the Silicon Valley Bank. All those guys who had millions of dollars and they got bailed out, right? FDIC only goes up to $250. Somehow these guys got millions back. Funny how that works. But you think you're going to be that lucky when you're just ordinary citizen? You better wake up, ladies and gentlemen. America, USA empire is crumbling right beneath your feet, and you're going rah, rah, shishkumba because they're hurting somebody else. That somebody else is a human being, and it's you too. You think they're hurting them just because they're just going for the low-hanging fruit. because they're the minority. Wait till they work their way up. Oh, by the way, they already worked their way up. That's why 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. And you are sitting there like, oh, well, I'll let them hurt the minorities right now. The minorities get hurt. That's fine. Not realizing you're the minority too. Everybody's the minority. If you're not in the top 15% of the wealthiest in the country, you're a minority. They're coming up the ladder. They're not going down. They're going up the ladder. The weakest to the strongest. And if you don't have friends in all the right places that can do government moves, oh, you're effed. You're effed, no matter who you are. So right now, we have post-retirement travel. We have Joe Nay. We have a lot of people who are retired officially with pensions, 401ks, Social Security, all kind of money that's coming in. You know what? The GOP just voted to cut some of this stuff. Do you understand what happens if 1, 2, or 3 of those are gone? When people are 65, 70, 75 years old, not in prime of their life where they can go get another job, not in prime of their life that they can create another empire, but literally been out of the workforce for 10, 15, 20 years or more, and now have no retirement back to the EU. In the 2000s to 2012-ish, they went to negative interest rates. So all the people that had their 401k, their money was earning no interest. They had to pay the banks to keep their money. You know what those people had to do that are 65, 70 years old? They had to put their money back into risky investments. They were sitting there very happy going, oh man, that's great. I have my $2 million. Great. I get like $100,000 a year. Great. Until negative interest rates. And all of a sudden they're like, what do you mean you're taking $25,000 this year of my money? I and didn't earn anything? Oh no, I can't keep my money there. So now these people are like, hold on, let me put money into the EU stock market. Or better yet, let me go over and put my money in the USA stock market. So they had to put their money at risk. So remember that 2008, 2009, 2010, when the stock market went boom? The Great Recession, as they now call it. Those people, you can understand the 60, 70, 80-year-old people watching their $2 million portfolios melt down to 700 grand. You could understand the panic that ensued, right? You see, ladies and gentlemen, you should pay attention to history. I'm going down history lane tonight because once again, we try to come up with solutions. Solutions are getting very, very short, but they're here. EV Place, he mentioned something right now about BTC and Ethereum and crypto. I agree with this 100%. You have to have money in that. Every time I keep saying the same thing, it seems like you got to have gold, silver, precious metals. Because the rest of the world still trades in all of this, no matter what happens in America. America now has crypto. They're going to sign up where crypto is going to be legal somehow to give an advantage, obviously, to the rich people or to corporations, obviously, not to the individuals. They're going to empower them. But the individuals can ride the wave, buy some BTC, buy some ETH. You can ride the wave, buy some altcoins. But ultimately, they're doing a shift to protect those people because they know these guys are going to run ETFs. And they know that you're going to buy into the ETFs. Give them your money anyhow. That's what this is all a setup for. They'll be the new banks that's holding your crypto. Because they know a lot of people are paying attention to what I'm saying. You better have duffel bags of cash on standby. You better have some gold, silver on standby. You better have crypto in a crypto wallet that's a cold wallet on standby. because these guys one day are going to be reaching for the stars. They're going to be saying, man, we don't have no more money. We done increase our bonds. Nobody wants to buy them because now our money, our economy's going down. They're worthless. No matter if we give them 5%, nobody wants to take it. So we can't print any more money, but we're going to have to print money anyhow, devalue the currency even further until one day the wake-up call comes. Ring. We're not going to allow you to have world currency anymore. You know why? We like what China's doing. Because the next order of world currency, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be China. They're not going to say it right now, but that's where this is heading, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it's going to be in my lifetime, but I'm saying 100 years is up. And oftentimes, you only have short windows. And when you start doing what America's doing, where the rest of the world doesn't like you to boot, woof, it starts getting rough out here. When you have the world against you as a country, economically, that's a contraction of money that's circulating in the United States. That is bad for USA citizens. That is bad for USA businesses. Just keep that in mind. My train with the IRS retirement is gone. I will not get an average of 35 years retirement calculations to get 1K a month. I have to play it in a different way. I'm already making more than 1K. Exactly, EV Place. See, this is what I'm saying. EV Place, he's already done the numbers. He understands what's going to happen. There is no way people are going to be safe out here. What I don't get is, here's the thing I don't get. If you know that when you get older, you traditionally get sicker. And if you know hospital bills mean like an ambulance, $5,000 for picking you up to go 2 blocks. You know, if you stay one night, 5 to 10 grand in a bed. You don't get it. If they do a procedure on you, they're going to call it 25, 40 grand, charge you for the bed. Next thing you know, you're 70 grand in, and you're like, wait a minute, I was just there for 2 days. I was ill, yes. The doctors ran there. So how does this come up to 70 grand? Now, I have bad news because 70% of the population does not even have $1,000 in their bank account or brokerage account or any account. So if you are not taking care of yourself and you know you're going to be sick when you get older, how do you think this is going to play out? I mean, I'm really not following this. So if you're down with the rah, take away all the social safety nets, I would have to say you're kind of a fool for voting for it, first of all, and then rah-rahing for it after that, when you and your family's going to be affected. Less than 5 years from now, potentially. It could be like in the next 6 months. And if they pass this legislation in the next 2 months, Medicaid, reportedly millions of people aren't going to be covered that are on Medicaid. And veterans aren't going to be covered. I mean, I don't know about you, but one of the most costly things is healthcare. So when a country's willing to spend 1 trillion plus on military industrial complex and cut social safety nets and not spend the exact same amount for that, you should start worrying. Because we have demons running the asylum, and the asylum is all of us, and there may be no way out because you can't just roll out. Like, you can't just roll out and be like, hey, I'm just going to go to another country. You understand, they're going, okay, you can stay here for 30, up to 90 days, up to 60 days. But after that, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do something. Go back to your country. Oh, overstay your welcome? Okay, great. But you can be deported, jailed, depending on their laws, pay a fine, stay here indefinitely, illegal. But the point is, You can't just roll to another country generally and you're good. You have to do immigration. But think about this. What if other countries treated immigration like America? You rolled in and you said, "Hey, man, I want to become a work. I need a work visa," and they said, "Okay, you can have a work visa." And then one day they wake up and say, "Nah, we're playing. Sure, you got a work visa, but we're deporting your ass back to that country you don't even want to go to." You see, you got to be very careful with what you're wishing for because you could be in the same boat. It's not going to be pretty. A month with Max wallet. I like that. Look at that. See, but here's the thing, EV Place. You've been, I mean, I don't really like talking about things such as this, but I'll ask you if you want to share. My thing is you would have to, in order for it to correlate with a lot of people that's watching and watching this later, you would have to tell them how much you invested to get that 1K. See, that's what the thing is. All right. So you can't just say I made 1K. You would have to say this is why and how it is. Because there's some people that would say things like I made 10K, but what they won't say is they won't say that their portfolio is $300,000 and Nvidia went from 100 to 125 and they have 200 shares. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, that's the thing. So it's kind of like you need to know so people can follow the playbook because we got to have a playbook, right? We got to have solutions. The solution, well, he mentions it right here. This is what he mentions: a month with Max wallet. He mentions it right here. He's doing a month with Max wallet, and he's saying that he's doing Max ETFs. That's very, very, very bold. Very bold, by the way, because he's doing what I would call a high risk, high reward. But it's not high risk, high rewards when the economy goes up and down. It's perfect for option income dividend trading because there's so many fees and premiums and monies generated from that. It's a perfect time to be in Max ETF or Defiance Group's option income trading. And then there's others that's coming up as well. So I want to look at this right here. This is right here. He says 210K invested in the last 2 months. Okay. Now, all I'm going to say to this is something that he's being, I'm going to tell you right now, he's being very conservative with this. I already know because there is no way you could be on 210,000 invested in Max ETF and only make 1,000 per month. You know why I know that? Because $200,000 at 1% is 2,000 a month. And I know you make more than 1% every month from a Max ETF fund. See, I know that. I appreciate that. There we go. There we go. Now, see, this makes sense. Now, this makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I was talking about. See, we know mathematics can't lie because I was like, wait a minute, there's no way they make more than 1%. If you have $200,000 in Max ETFs and you're doing 2% a month, that's 40 G's. I mean, sorry, 4,000 a month. That would be more like it, conservatively. And his track record with the stocks I know he bought in Max ETF, if it was 210,000, he would have made damn near 40,000 in 1 month. Damn sure for the last 2 months. So that's why when I saw what he said, I was like, 1,000 a month with 210, that's not possible. So 20,000, that makes much, much more sense. Much, much more sense, ladies and gentlemen. And come to find out, the 20K that he has in there, actually potentially could generate 3 to 4 thousand per month because he's been making investments in some things that I like. That MSTR, I love that. SMCY, I like that too, even though the stock price goes down, but you incrementally buy some dollar cost average down. Because then your average is lower, your dividend yield is still the same or greater. And because there's volatility, lots of option income money is coming. He also has TSLY, he has PLTY, which PLTY is just a monster. $5 per share every month, thereabouts. Ooh. And think about their share price used to be 55. It actually dipped under 70 today, which is beautiful. But imagine if you would have bought it 57, 58, and you got the best of both worlds, getting 450 to 550 per share every month on I'll use $60. $5 divided by 6, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe how many times 6 goes into 50? It's 7.5 times, 7.5% every month on your money. Oh, somebody's here to save you, but it has to be you, ladies and gentlemen. We're just giving you the information. That's why you need your pen, pads, and papers. This is just some extreme stuff that's happening right now. So you have to take advantage because this will not always be the same. Oh my. Speaking of another person that understands the situation, Mr. Dividend has arrived. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And Brian P., just in the time that we need to talk about it. And he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. Thank you. I hope all is well with you. Yes, I am feeling almost 90% now. Tomorrow I should be 100. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button, and we are making money in here. You're damn right. That's what we've been trying to get people to do for the last 5.5, coming on 6 years now. And we've been doing the damn thing. We've taken high risk, we took L's. We took low risk, we took L's. We've been investing all over the map, but we don't take L's the whole damn time. So the little wins we get, they make up for the L's. And now we have no choices but to stay with the big boy stuff. We can't take high risk, high rewards. So again, get yourself some BTC, get yourself a little bit of gold and silver, get yourself some stocks, get yourself some dividends. But all that has to be in play. Because waiting around for something else to happen, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, too much volatility as the USA empire is crumbling right underneath your feet. And people are looking for life vests. And life vests are only going to be provided for those who play with the billionaires and millionaires, what they're investing in. Hopefully I explained this good, because people don't understand the dire situation. We are making money in here, you're damn right. Thank you so much, Brian P. Brian P. is one of those guys that's doing incredible numbers as well. I can't even guess because he's got 4,000 shares here, 500 shares here, 2,000 shares here of different Yield Max ETF funds. That means he is generating thousands per month in dividends. And I'm not talking about 1,000, 2,000. I'm talking, he must be at $5,000 by now. Because he's been doing this for over 2 years. So he has this curve that's going like this. So it's just dumping and redumping and dumping again. I mean, it's just buying more shares. It's getting crazy out here. BLTY. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin on fire. That's right. You have to have some, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about this ever since it was $45,000. Come on. Stop playing out here, ladies and gentlemen. It was $45,000 this last dump down when it went down. And again, we were saying get BTC and ETH. ETH was 1250 or 1300. So you had plenty of time to get in, just like you had plenty of time about getting gold, a little bit of gold and silver. You had plenty of time to get in with yield max ETFs. You had plenty of time to get in on regular dividends. You had plenty of time to get in real estate investment trust that's giving 15% to 20%. ARRs out here giving freaking 20%. AG&C is out here giving people 15, 16%. This is just absolutely insane what's happening. If the market corrects, which hold your seats, because soon as the Federal Reserve in T minus 2 months starts saying we're going to cut 25 percentage points, we're going to go to all-time highs in a lot of stocks. So you need to buy at the low. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Bitcoin is on fire, Brian P., Mr. Dividend. I picked up 300 shares of PLTY. Look at this right here. PLTY, because of the volatility that's had over the last 30 days, I would not be shocked if it gives out $5 again or $6 or even $7 per share. If this gives out $7 per share, he gets $2,100. Now, 300 shares would cost $1,800, right? I'm sorry. So hold on. Let me get the numbers right. It's 300. I can't blame you on that either. At 60, wait a minute. It's not 60. 60 would be where I would be probably thinking about buying. This is like 68 right now, I think, somewhere like that. I'll look at this. That's 20 grand. But here's the thing. 20 grand, 400. Here's how investments work, ladies and gentlemen. If PLTY gives out $6, that's $1,800. And when you go 1,800 divided by 20,400, I just used a roundabout number. You know what? That's 8.8%. There's people watching this right now that goes 8.8% for 1 month. No, it's for this month only, plus another 11 months. For the year, people would be happy for 8.8%. Do you think it's a wise? How could this not be a wise investment? You put 20,000 in, you're getting 1,800 probably this month minimum, and if this goes to $7, then you're 2,100. So now you're damn near at 10%. You are at 10% in 1 month. That is a lot of cheddar cheese, ladies and gentlemen. But this is a limited time basis. This is because the stock market is a yo-yo. That works well with YOMAX ETF stocks. Oh, look, he actually told, oh, damn, it's $7. He's getting 10%. Because if it's $7 per share, that means he is getting $2,100 plus on a $20,000 investment. That's 10% in 1 month. Do you guys not understand? This is like, if you have money, you win. And you can see right now, EV Place and Brian P. is playing this beautifully. Beautifully. Oh my God, it went down to 62. Holy smokes. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's back in buy range because my dollar cost average is under 60. It's like 59 or something. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is worth getting into. Buying some more. This is great. This is awfully great. Hold on. This is a whole different ball game then. Oh, he's over 10% in 1 month. 62 times 300. That's 18.6. 18,660, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Oh my God. 2,100 divided by 18,660. And he's actually going to make more than that. I didn't add the 4 cents. That's 11.2%, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 month. The volatility is astounding. Oh, this is near dollar cost average. It's $3 over, but still. The dividend is just too great. Holy smokes. I wonder what the ex dividend date is. Today's Wednesday, so it's too late. It would have been today, and it's too late to buy tonight. Damn. Um, yeah, exactly. My average. Oh wow, that's even more beautiful. So I'm still waiting. Yeah, that is crazy right now. 62. If you bought 357, holy smokes, that's even better. It was 2 hours ago. Man, that is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for mentioning that. I can't even believe it went to $7 this month. Wow. And it's down to, hold on, man. I can't believe this. How did it go to, are you talking about after hours? Because I'm just now looking and it says 67. Because today I saw 68, 67. I was like, okay, that's down. It's got to come down a little bit more. 62 is outrageous. Hold on, man. This is, yeah, it's 67.8. When did it go to 62? Oh, man, there was a dip. Is that what you're saying? Something happened. Insta crash somewhere. Damn it. Because I don't see 62 on the chart today. It doesn't matter. Because if there's any after hours or something going down, there must have been some insta crash after hours or something. Because that is crazy. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it dropped off this afternoon at 1 p.m. All of a sudden it dropped. There must have been some bad news, but that's great for option income strategy fund, PLTY. That works beautiful. And guess what? SMCI. Oh, yeah. By the way, SMCI was in the 18s today. I was like, oh my God, I had to give me some more. My dollar cost average is way higher. Micro strategy, even though that dropped, dollar cost average is below that. So I was like, forget about it because I'm just going to buy more shares when the next comes out. So I was like, but NVDA, I even got MRNY. Don't know why, but I just like it. The Russell Index, IWMY, is good. See, all of these went down. BABA, yeah, I love this. I love this. This is great for option income, trading, strategy, these swings. Wow. NASDAQ slides as treasury yields bounce up. Again, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I sent you an email about that today. I wish, man, my emails are all messed up. They're not the same. They changed the Business 365 emails. And so I used to get notifications. I don't get notifications. Maybe I have to go set something up. That's why I have to manually go and check it out. That's what irritates me. It's always dropping 5 to 7% after X date. Yep. That's because people are buying it. That's right. That's X dividend dates had to be today or yesterday. It had to be today. I think it's today. So after hours, people dump it, right? Or maybe the next day because you got to be on record to get your payout. And if it's this Friday, that would make much sense. Um, Speaking of that, I guess I'll go see what the dividend payout is. Um, F's May 23rd, 2025. Let's go look. I'll pull it up on screen if it comes up. Uh, MRNY is ex dividend date is May 2020. Okay, well, anyhow, 12 cents per share. MRNY is only $2.35. Right. So 12 cents is pretty good. That would be $1.44 if they gave out 12 cents every month. That's 50% on your, or well, it's more than 50%. Uh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, usually I can Google it. What's happening? Here we go. Distribution 15 hours ago. Global Newswire. always gives this out every Wednesday, sometimes Tuesdays, but here it is. So we can actually look it up right now. I'll put a link in the chat room for everybody, even on Instagram. I'm going to go leave it there first so people will know we in the house. And then I'll come over here and put it in the chat room. There's the link that's going to be in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys still haven't downloaded the software for Robinhood and Webull and got your free shares of stock, come on now. Just go down below in the description box and, oh, wait, hold on. Forget that. I forgot. The other live stream that I started, it's EV Muck started doing their reset thing. And so I was like, oh, man, I can't do it. Let me just shut off this live stream and start another one. I can't do that yet. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. I have some house cleaning to do. And speaking of house cleaning, something I haven't shown in a while. It's a video people have seen, but why not? Let's do that. Come on, come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. SSN Lifestyle at its coolest. Every place you want to be. That was one of my policies, by the way. My whole life, every place you want to be. Like the American Express commercial used to be. One of my favorites was Fog City Diner in San Francisco, which was a old cable car. And it was by Fisherman's Wharf. And it was kind of cool when they always had their American Express commercials. That's how I always felt. They'd be doing their American Express commercials everywhere you want to be. And I'd be like, wait, I want to go. I want to go here. I want to go there. Wasn't American Express. It was wherever it was cool to be. I wanted to be there. All right. Got to be in the room, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, like I say, once I come out of retirement, am I going to come out of retirement? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough out here. I just want to stay safe and sound. I don't even want to spend any money anymore because you have to think of everything, money of return. You have to think of every time you spend on expense, that's money gone when you could be putting it towards getting some money coming back. It's scary. And then it's even scarier having to figure out, okay, you have to keep certain amounts offshore just in case something happens on this shore. So these are the type of things that you have to worry about. So once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Hopefully you guys are getting the strategies. Hopefully you're understanding. We're talking heavily about UMAX ETFs because this week is going to be some astronomical dividend payouts. And next week, we're talking places that are going to, some of these dividend stocks going to be getting $2 per share, and the stock prices are less than $25, $30, giving you a 5 to 10% payout in 1 month of return, which is incredible. And how are you just going to idly sit by? How are you just going to idly sit by? There it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there it is. So you guys are going to see what I'm about to post up on the screen. Let me see. Share the screen. You know how we got to do this every now and then. Here we go. I haven't seen the list yet, so you guys will be some of the first to see it, along with myself. So check this out. Here we are. That's the link I put down in the chat room so you can check it out. But look, here we are. Let's see. Chippy, CHPY. I'm not familiar with Chippy. 39 cents. This is weekly payouts. GPTY is giving out 29 cents. LFGY is giving out 49 cents, and LFGY took a big hit this week. So that is very interesting if you're buying at the lower price. Very interesting. Here's some of the Russell 2000s. QDTY, RDTY, SDTY. QDTY 32 cents. RDTY 34 cents. SDTY 27 cents. ULTY 9 cents. That's a surprise. YMAG at 25 cents. That's very nice because the price point for YMAG and YMAX is giving 18 cents. So most people can live with that distribution. BABA, 99 cents. Very interesting. Alibaba and shorting NVIDIA dips. You know what? So is Crash. Crash, CRSH. I thought that shorted. Oh, that shorts Tesla. Crash does. Dip shorts NVIDIA, but it doesn't matter. They're not really shorting anything. They're doing the option income on the shorts of the contracts for the shorts. So that's why it's able to make money or dividends for dividend holders. That's 35 cents. You can see on the next column here, that's the return if it gave the same return and your stock price stayed nearly the same. I don't think people are going to be bitching about any of these numbers over here on the right-hand side. Meta at 63 cents. Wow. GDXY, 37 cents. That's very interesting because isn't GDXY around $13? I think so. That's interesting. So it must be around 13. So if that's $4, that's 30%. Yeah. Yeah. That's not bad for a gold miners option income trading. JP Morgan, Morrow, 1 point. Holy smokes. EV Place was talking about Morrow 3 weeks ago. You guys had heads up. Morrow. Let's go look at this. Let's go look. You guys had every opportunity. This is why you always have your pen, pads, and papers ready. Let's go look at this because I don't remember what the stock price is off the top of my head. So once again, where's Morrow? $25. Wow. Wow. Oh, but hold on a second. Let me look at something. Let me just look. Yeah, if you would have bought before, your dollar cost average would have been probably, let me go look, in the 24, 23. Oh, yeah, you could have potentially been in the 21, 22. But I'll just use $25.27 for you guys. Don't worry about it. I'll just use the $25.20. So people who buy right now, 1.97 divided by 25.20, whatever it was, 7.7. Jesus Christ. See, ladies and gentlemen, ordinary citizens, you guys can win in a short term. If you were willing to say, okay, let me see how this works. If I can get 20 to 30% in a 3 to 5, 6 month window, and then use some of that profit either down the line or half of it and invest in something that's a little bit lower risk, that is a plan worth looking at. The playbook is here. It's clear right now. This is incredible. Incredible. I'm glad I got me some Morrow. I'm in shock. I'm in shock, quite frankly. And I only got some because when he started, EV Place did what investors do. You study all of the ones that give out a certain percentage, you see which ones try to hold on to their. What I do is, I don't know if he's the same, but what I do is I see, okay, what is their stock price? Is it able to maintain a variable within a 10 to 15% range? If it's dropping like 25, 30, 40%, then I'm like, I don't want to do that, because I'll drop 25, 30%, but then the dividend gives like 70, the distribution, I should say, gives 70%. So my net may be, you know, 10 or 15. So that doesn't really interest me that much. So once I looked at it, I said, you know what? The way Mara is working, I was like, hold on. I think this right now is probably going to be a good thing. And because of this distribution, if it kept that distribution up, you'd be 100%. This is crazy. I'm very happy with that. Here's MRNY, which is, like I said, 60% return over here, ladies and gentlemen, because that's $1.44 potentially annually, and the stock price is only like $2.40. You heard me, $2.40. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you can get a return of 40% or 30%, you're going to be happy. Here's NVDY is paying out this week too. Oh, look, it's $1.62. Oh, another heavy hitter. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. And here's PLTY. Seven. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, this is, you guys are doing the salsa dance. And look what's coming next week. NFLY, PYP, CVNY, Coney. Oh my God. Heavy hitters are coming next week as well. If you guys had this roster, if you had the weeklies plus any three of these, Morrow, NVDY, PLTY, and FBY, you guys, and Babo, damn, and Dips. In fact, if you had any three of these other ones besides the weeklies, you guys should be doing a salsa dance, because this is insane right now. Getting these type of returns in 1 month, let alone whatever you're going to get next month. And because volatility is happening right now, the stock market is dropping, so a lot of options are being exploited. Next month, they're going to have similar type returns, give or take 20% in either direction. I think you're going to take it. So this is beautiful. This is some beautiful stuff right now. I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of this. And like I said, we help each other out here. Yep, $22 average on Morrow, exactly, because if you were in last month, then you would have been in 21 to 22 range when he was mentioning it, because there was a dip last month. 14 average on NVDY. I'm in your same boat. Mine's hold on. Mine's around that too. Might even be 14.5 or something like that. But I'm still happy. Come on now. Now you see, Eric, how Robinhood is showing 20% wallet increase in 1 month. Exactly. It, exactly. 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 That's exactly how it works. Um, Here's what I did. I did an experimental thing. What I did was I put $100 in Moo. But and the reason I did this was because I actually wanted to know that I bought $100 worth of some shares. And some of those shares were ARR. Here. In fact, I'll show you guys. Because I always do these little side things, because I want to see what happens if I don't even touch it at all. And here's what I picked. So you guys, I'll show this, so it won't matter, I don't think. Let me go look. I'll show you. This is from a month of, it's 60 days. It's been 60 days, I think. Okay, so here's what happened today. So here's what I did. I did $100 right here. So you can see it's 110 after today's drop. But you can see some of these shares, right? So ARR gives a 20%. In fact, hold on a second. I'll show you guys something because it dropped 4% today. And you know why it dropped? Because it's a real estate investment trust. PSEC, ORC, AGNC, all of the real estate investment trusts, they dropped today because the debt rating, the credit rating for the United States went down, which now has affected the bond rates. The bond rates go by the borrowing money. So therefore, their borrowing just went up. It's costing them expense money. So their stock price goes down because now they have less revenues. So look at it's it's 18% dividend yield right now at 15.95. Now, the stock price, $15.95. So anyhow, in 2 months, I'm at 10%, right? Because it's $100, right? But keep in mind, I have ULTY, right? I have ARR, which is going to give me dividends. I have IVR, which also is a real estate investment trust on here. I have PSEC on here, which is going to give out a dividend in on Monday or Tuesday. Then NVDY, we already know from the charts that I'm going to get 1.6, which I only have one share or something. I don't even think I have that many shares. Let me go look this up. Let's go look. I think I only have one share. But anyhow, that's $1.60. So you know things are going to be fine that way. Let's see what else is on my list here. I have PLT. No, 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 no. Hold on. I don't have PLTY. Hold on a second. I don't have PLTY. I know for a fact I don't have PLTY. I have PSOR, NVDY. Yep. So all the ones I announced. So it's going to be so this is probably going to be around 114, 115. Now, when Jerome Powell comes out in 60 days, I believe, and says we're going to reduce the interest rate 0.25, I think that's when you're going to have the real estate investment trust, they'll actually pop a little bit. And what I mean is, like 5%, 3 to 5%. But the point is, when you buy low, your dividend yield is high. So you can have an 18% for ARR, right? ARR's 18%. ORC right now, if you buy right now, is going to be what? 20.87%. Look, 20.87%. All right. You can see it. Not that hard. You can't miss this. And here we almost had Prospect Capital, PSEC, at 52-week highs as well. They're at 18.59%. And, well, ULTY, they calculate but it's not right. I mean, over 100% dividend yield. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, this should be the salsa dance of the evening because you can easily see right here how you can win, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, you can use the links down below to get your free shares of stock from Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. Sign up with all of them. Like I say, I have my $100 experiment, so to speak, and I just wanted to keep it at 100 because then I know my true value is I spent 100 and I'm at $10 ahead after 2 months. That's what I'm saying. And I haven't added anything to it. I'm going to let it ride just on those stocks that I told you just to see what's going to happen. And I'm trying ARR, they don't give stocks out dividends every month. So ARR is on a 4-month program. So that's why it's very interesting what's going to happen. Because I don't know what the dividend is going to be for ARR. It could be 10 cents or 20 cents. I don't know. But in order for it to be near 20 cents, And ARR costs, well, right now $16. So that means it should give out, I don't know what it would give out, quite frankly. I've never even cared. But if it gives me 18%, that's all I care about. So it has to give me at least $1.80 or something, $1.90 a year. So it has to give me almost 15 cents a share or something like that. It's got to be pretty close. Um, no, it has to give me twice that, 30 cents. Every 3 months, every 3 months has to give me 30 cents or something. 40 cents, 50, it has to be 50 cents. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, at least we know we're at 10% for 2 months, 5% per month under this program. So under just those stocks, I can live with 5% per month. So can you, I hope. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you can live with that. That's it for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to keep going round and round. You guys want to play around and sit around and do nothing because the USA empire is glorious, used to be something that it's not now. You're going to be in trouble. Now you see, Eric, how Robinhood is showing 20% wallet increase in 1 month. Yeah, I know, man. I saw it before. But yes, this is exactly what happens. And oh, by the way, we got to show some love for our own, right? You guys like coffee, you like tea, then you got to go to beachfrontjava.com. Why? Because we support our own small businesses, especially when they're part of the SSN Nation. So we have our own Professor Auntie Val and family, and that's their business. So go down there, use the promo code SSN Lifestyle, all caps, all one word, because that means after your first order, you get a discount for life. And put in the comment sections or anything, you're from SSN Nation. All right. Coffee, many different varieties. Some of you would say, hey, Eric, hold on a second. I only use Keurig. She has it. Some of you go, man, I just use drip ground because the healthcare professionals say drip ground is best. She has that. Some of you would say, okay, I heard that I want to crunch up my own special blend of her beans. She has that, whole beans. Some of you go, well, I'll just get me some fine espresso. She has that as well. Half-pound bags to 5-pound bags. United States, free shipping for everybody inside the lower 48 states. Beachfrontjava.com, please. Show your love and let them know you're from SSN Nation. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to wrap this up. If you have anything else you want to discuss, please do so now. There is something I want to discuss, though, and I want to see if I actually downloaded them, because at the start of the hour, we were talking about real estate investing. Shortly, by side effect, Opine Furniture, I gave out Joel's information. I even sent him a message. He didn't even contact me. How cold is that? I sent him a message saying, yeah, this guy, EV, I use DV Place. And he says, hey, he went to Jarrett and he ordered some furniture, man. And I see these prices are awesome. I'm proud of you. I had to let him know. I'm happy to see these prices. Very happy to see the pricing you gave him, man. So hope all's going well. Something to that effect. I didn't download the image. Oh, I know why I didn't download the image. I know why. Because it was on Instagram. Da-da, da-da, da-da. All right. That's why. I forgot all about it. It was on the Instagram platform. Well. So what I'm going to do now is, since I don't see anybody there, everybody on Instagram, I'm going to have to say sayonara. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being in the house and watching this. Hopefully your future is going to be bright with the knowledge that we've given out here tonight. No smoke and mirrors. You don't have to send us money to trade for you. You don't have to do anything crazy with us. You can open up your own brokerage accounts, trade with your own monies, buy stocks, do whatever you want to do. That's what you have to do out here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's talk about it's real. It's real, ladies and gentlemen. It's real. It was no joke out here. We're not lying. It's not a game. The man, hold on, share this tab instead. The man wasn't playing. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Open image and new tab. That's what I'm going to have to do. He wasn't out here playing. He wasn't faking the funk. I'm referring to EV plays. Joel wasn't out here lying to me. Nobody was playing out here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. If you guys, let me hold on. I got to get this on screen because I know you guys can't see this. Check this out. Check this out, courtesy of EV Place. I know it's hard to see, but this is the best I can do until I actually change it to a different format. Oh, wait, hold on. I can do a little better. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Let me see in the background what that looks like. Is that any better? It doesn't look any better to me. What's happening here? It doesn't look any better to me. I don't know. All right. That stone table, $523 with the 18% ITBUS. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. 11 millimeter thick. I love the Hermès gray matte rock board. Okay. All right. The chairs, $90 each with 18% ITBUS, $422. A bed, ecological leather and leather and solid wood frame plus high resilience sponge and rib frame. Okay. What is that? $859. But I like the leather. I like it. Good touch, quality. I love it. $859 US. We have the mattress. Now the mattress, I don't know because it says pocket spring, independent, knitted, high grade, $70. I don't know about all, $70. That seems weird, but I can't say anything because no, 570. Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say $70, definitely not a good quality. Um, Here goes the nightstands, which is very interesting choice. $382. Two of them is $382. And here it is. It's the MDF, and I know why. Solid color film panel plus high-tech rail and gunmetal iron. Oh, yeah. I will give a recommendation here. Do not get chrome in a humid environment. You need nickel, you need gunmetal, you need something. Do not do chrome. It blisters, ladies and gentlemen. All right, just saying. $162 each, so it ends up being $382. And this 18% ITBUS is killing people. 20% of your bill is ITBUS. Can you imagine buying something for $5,000 and damn near the tax is 1,000 of that $5,000? That is insane. That is insane. Imagine if you're like in America where you might have a 6.5, 8% state tax, and the 4,000 is like $300, $250. So you'd roll out the place 43.50, worst case scenario. And in DR, no, I'm sorry, man, that's going to cost you about another $900 in tax. You're like, what the frick? I just bought $4,000 worth of stuff. You're going to charge me like damn near 20% more. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But hey, the funny part is you would have to spend a whole lot more if you weren't at OP Furniture. By the way, oh yeah, that's just the beginning. Hold on. We got one more. Because I was getting ready to say, where's the we got to have some what do you call this? We got to have sofa. I found this very interesting because I didn't know they had this sofa bed. So this is going to be very, very interesting here. I mean, it's not a sofa bed, which again, I'm going to ask EV Place if he's still here. Why did you not get a sofa bed? That's the $1 million question. But this was $1,100. No description. So I don't know if that's cloth or leather. Highly recommend cloth in a high humidity location. But if you're going to do cloth, then now I got to go talk to him about Scotch guarding it because it's going to be wet. It's going to take in some material, like dirt due to sand and things like that. Granules can actually get into it. So you're going to Scotch guard it, but pay the $100. Coffee table melamine, which if it's designed properly, it'll look nice. And long as it's functional, $170. That's it. Yeah, melamine is actually very cheap, ladies and gentlemen. No, I shouldn't say cheap. I don't mean to use the word cheap. It's cheap to make, but it's worth the price because of what you're going to pay, and it's going to hold up not for 5 years if you have high occupancy rate, but it'll hold up worth $180 worth. So 2 years, you flip it out after you've made profit. That's the idea. And the TV stand is melamine too, and I'm not mad at you. And that's only $311. And it looks like I can't tell if that's sitting is standing. So he walks out. This whole thing, $5,336, and he's riding halfway home. The only thing missing is kitchen appliances, which should be included. He has the white line, meaning his fridge, his range, his hood, AC units. So literally, he needs pictures on the wall, which again should show something beach in DR. Images of DR that are pristine, like mountains with river, beach with that type of airy, open, no, not all these plants in there, and no disc on the walls. Pictures, imagery. So when people are there, it's nice and calm, and they're sitting there going, you know what? I feel like going to the beach tomorrow because that picture's been staring at me. They don't say that, but it's subliminal. Then you show something that people may recognize, a famous place in DR. Oh, man, maybe I'll go on an excursion. That gets people thinking. And then you go with the excursion companies, get a pack, say, hey, man, I'm going to leave this in my unit. Get people to use a QR code or something so you get notification if they book or however you can work it and make some additional side money because half of your renters are going to go on excursions. They're nearly about the same price. So why not help them out? Order food here, put the list down. Here's the restaurant up the street. Do all this. Have your own little book made. Have your nice little basket of goodies ready for the guest or a couple of waters in the fridge or whatever else you want to leave for them for pennies on the dollar. Goodwill. Make sure you have the blender, ice makers, or ice in the freezer, toaster, coffee maker, and not some bogus BS one that is in Spanish only, and you got to do some special rigging to make it happen. No, a simple drip ground will work fine and leave them some of the filters. You don't have to do nothing crazy. And people will be very, very happy. All right? There you go. That's what we're talking about tonight. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That gets you in the game. That gets you in the game. All right. Now you see. Have you spoken with Joel from OP? No, man. I sent him a message today. He didn't respond. But see, the problem is he's hanging out with Tony. They're doing a project. And those guys went straight up. They like going to those little parties. They like going to them parties, not parties, but those events where you sell your condos and all that. And since he has a furniture business, that goes hand in hand too for other promoters and developers. So they like going around too. So that's what they do. So I can't. I don't know where he is. He normally hits me up unless he's changed his number because he's got. I got two of his numbers. But yeah, he didn't hit me up. So I guess I'm gonna have to hit up the other number I have for him tomorrow. Could be over in Spain or something. Or hell, I should just hit up Tony. See what he's doing. Either way, we'll get hooked up. Whenever he gets in touch, he'll be in touch. He's a good guy. Can't say nothing bad. That's why I don't mind showing love. Make it happen. That's it. Yes. That's it exactly. Make it happen. Europe is 23% VAT. I know, man. I know. I know. That's what one of the stories that I told you guys when I went to France, and I'm not really, I don't speak French. I, I don't speak French. So, and of course, black guy that speaks perfectly good English. So when I went into the jewelry store, and again, if you guys haven't heard the story about the jewelry store, it's when I'm wearing a hoodie. I have my Green Bay Packers hoodie that a good friend of mine probably gave me like 25 years ago, and to this day I still have it. And Green Bay Packers isn't even my team. It's just that the hoodie is comfortable. And it has a little rip down the center. So when I stay in the EU zone, especially if I'm there February, March, or April, I bring my hoodie, and then I bring a little jacket that I put over it because the temperature is around 50 to 55, somewhere in there. So as I'm walking down the streets, we're looking for onion soup. And so we're sitting at the Champs-Élysées, and I asked somebody, "Hey, where is the best French soup area?" Because I know I'm not eating in this section. They go, "Oh, go over like 2 blocks, and then when you get to that second street, 2 blocks over, make a right, and on the left-hand side, probably about 200 meters down, you'll find it." So now we start walking, and as we're walking, I'm also over there for Baselworld, which is the watch show in Basel. And so I'm like, okay, we're just walking, and then I see this jewelry store with watches in there, and I was like, oh, those look a little different. But I'm in France, so I'm like, okay, let me go see what these are. And so when I came up to get into the jewelry store, I just pulled the door, but it's locked. Dudes looking at me, they don't do nothing. They're just like, okay, some black dude trying to come in here and rob us, maybe. And so then, because it's a frame, just like in this frame right here, somebody could be standing next to me, but you can't see him. That's what the wife was over here, couldn't see him. So I just started laughing. And I said, because I went like this. The dudes are in the store looking like, I'm like, so I was just like, I think they think I'm gonna rob them or something. So I just kind of laughed and moved out of the screen. Here she comes moving in, and she's wearing like some furry stuff. And as soon as they saw her, all of a sudden I hear, bzz, 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 they're trying to buzz in. So I start laughing. I'm like, of course. So we come in, and she just stands in there and is like, wow, this is interesting, because she thinks I'm going for watches. But before we came in the door, or when we're coming in the door, this guy comes up from the basement who's wearing a leather. He's like the jeweler. He hits his thumb on the window. It opens. He puts a ring in there, and I'm ahead of the wife, and I see this thing, just the cuts on it was just sparkling. And I'm like 15 to 20 feet away, and it's doing this. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? So I'm thinking, okay, it's a nice ring that they put in the case. And I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about that. So I'm walking down, the watches are past it. I walk past the watches, but as I'm walking past, it's a heart-shaped yellow ring with some other diamonds. And I'm like, oh no. And sure enough, I'm getting ready to walk up the back steps in the jewelry store to where the watches are. And all I hear is the wife going, honey, honey. And she's pointing. And so I didn't even turn around. I just asked the guy, I said, she's pointing at that ring, isn't she? And he's like, yep. I said, oh no, this is bad. Under my breath with him, and he starts laughing. I said, okay, man, where's the watches? And then she goes, honey. I'm like, all right. I turn around and I'm like, all right, I knew you were going to see this. So the other part to the story is when we got married years before, this is like 10 years, 8 years, 7 years, I can't even remember. Before that, she had a 5-carat heart-shaped diamond ring. That was her ring for when we got married. When it came back, it was cracked. I was like, no, I will never be able to do this. 5-carat heart-shaped diamond ring. You guys should look it up. Those are hard to come by. And chipping and cutting and doing all kind of crazy with some clarity, not with this stupid carbon inside. I mean, it had carbon, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't clear, but at least there was only like one inclusion. But anyhow, so never replaced it. She was fine with the whatever we replaced it with, because I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't that. So now here this is something special, something specially made from the jeweler. Nobody else made it out of his hands. They said it took him like 9 months to a year to get the setting set, the stones and everything, and the shape. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I guess I owe it to her. So I start looking at watches. I tell her whatever, but I tell the guy after I'm leaving, I didn't see any watches. I said, hey, man, I want to pay whatever. I told him I'm going to pay whatever. And I said, I don't want to negotiate. I'm leaving in 3 or 4 days. That's my number. Call me when you decide to get close to it. So one day goes by. And before that one day goes by, we go down to the French onion soup place. Oh, yeah, they were right. That was the best French onion soup I've ever had in France. So one day goes by, the guy calls and says some stupid number, like 10% off or something. Next day goes by, I don't even hear from him. But then 7 at night, the dude calls me and says, hey, man, we were talking about it. And dude took off like 40%. I was like, oh, so you're getting a little more serious. Okay. Now you're getting closer to my number. But I'm sorry. That ain't gonna work. So he goes, well, since I'm closer to the number, why don't you send me a picture of your passport? So quite naturally, who would think I'm French of anything? So he's thinking, okay, this American, I got to charge him the VAT. He's already calculating. So all his pricing includes the VAT, the extra tax, import, export, all this stuff. So that's why he has a certain price. He calls me up the next day and he goes, why didn't you tell me you were born in France? What is wrong with you? You don't have to pay the VAT. You don't have to pay. He started naming off all kind of stuff. I can do this. I can do that. So actually the price is this now. I was like, oh, I'll see you in a few hours. And so that's how I bought the wife's ring. And if you guys saw it, it's spectacular. She can't even wear, if I'm not with her, she can't even wear it by when she's by herself. Only because it's different, yes, but it's the way that the facets and the way they cut it, and because there's nothing underneath. What I mean by that is it's like two prongs, and then it sits and it's heart shaped too, and it's yellow, and then there's a space, it's air, and so there's a depth to it. So basically, the sparkles and people when she's in illuminated areas such as elevators and in any lighting that's halogen and all that, the thing just bounce, all the stuff just bounces, and people have grabbed her arm and stopped her, and she won't even wear it without me. I don't blame her. And so, and it is still like 4.5 to 5 carats. I don't remember because I didn't even pay attention, quite frankly. I was just like, oh, this is so awesome that you'll never see another one. And so everywhere she goes, people are asking her where she got it. And then I got lucky too. I should say this, man. This is like a dream come true. It the ring itself has a V shape, so it comes across, and instead of it being a solid side, he put a V shape to it. So the ring on the side that faces out, the ring actually has a V, and it's a small like V. So now I'm in Sacramento at Folsom at a consignment shop, and I'm perusing through their jewelry case because I'm an Invicta guy, Invicta watch guy. So in their case, they actually have Invicta watches, and I'm like, what is Invicta watches doing in a consignment furniture store? At least that's the way I looked at them. I never even paid attention that they had a case of jewelry. So people have their jewelry on consignment. So I was sitting there like, this is unbelievable. You would not believe what I saw in the case. Talk about 1,000,000 to 1. I see a setting that goes in front of her V. There is a freaking thin V. You're not going to believe this. Yellow diamonds with white diamonds, or regular diamonds. That was in the setting on another V shape that would be part of a wedding set, like it was made especially for it. And then the lady, my jaw dropped. I said, okay, how much is this? And the lady says, well, you bought so much stuff from us. Uh, all right, $150. And I'm sitting there like, all right, give me the scope. Is this really diamonds? What's going on? She's like, yeah, the person on consignment is some older lady. It's not a wedding set. That was all a piece. So she's like, yeah, she told us to sell it for like $100 or something. So then the lady that runs the store goes, man, they got so much stuff from us. Just sell it to them for $75. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So then I come home. I told the wife, hey, let me see your ring. You won't believe this. It's her size, it fits her hand, and it matches the V, so the V's go together. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Talk about crazy stuff. That's the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. So that scenario, when they found out that I was French, born in France, the fact that he was able to take off grands, and I didn't even have to do import or taxes like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was wearing some special watch, and when he went through customs, they were like, you got to pay taxes on that. So they avoided all of it. And what was even sicker, I even got a refund back in the US. It was crazy. However he hooked it up, they hooked it up. I didn't have nothing to do with it. They just hooked it up. I was like, oh my God. And the company was in France. I think that was the name of it, Fortis. Um, and I wish I can get in touch with them because I would be able to send them a picture and they'd be like, what the hell? L shape looks better than sofa, in my opinion. I was asking for some stay proof fabric on sofa. So what happened, EV Place? Do they have it stain proof, Scotch Guard? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not mad at you about the L shape. You're exactly right. But can the L shape have a sofa sleeper? The one section before the before the chase, or is it okay? Or there's another way you could do it. You could do a how we have it too, like that ottoman. You can have an ottoman, but you can have the sofa that actually does fold out, and then the ottoman you can set aside, and then that way when you fold it back in, that one section you can always push back the ottoman, right? Do it that way for the L shape, the best of both worlds, right? That's one way. But do they even have a sofa sleeper? I don't even know if Joel even has a sofa sleeper, which is the other thing. But I agree with you. You got to have stain proof fabric, or you don't ask for Scotch Guard. See if somebody around in Punta Cana does Scotch guarding for their furniture. That's what you should do. All right. All furniture coming with the warranty, they can be replaced if needed. I don't have to be there. That's right. EV Place, you're giving them the sales pitch, man. These people have no idea how great OP furniture is going to be for them. I mean, you guys have no idea. Here's the other part. You know what happens when you get furniture? You buy it now, and then you know good and well 2 years later, if something happens, you can't replace it with the same one to match your set, right? The beautiful thing about this is you can get it another order later. That's the beautiful thing to match if you want to keep it that way. That's what I like about it. Um, exactly, man. Exactly. High end. That's what I love about Joel's OP because they're treating it as a high end operation. They're not treating it just as a furniture company, a furniture store. Yes, high quality products available for guests. Coffee, cigars, rum is on my list, and welcome gifts, of course. Yeah, don't get too crazy, man. Just a little will do you. You don't have to get too crazy, but I love it. I love this soccer, coffee, cigars, and rum. I like that. I like that. Welcome gifts. Yep, gotta have it, man. Oh, yes, it is a sofa sleeper. Oh, I love it, man. The best of both worlds. Great job, EV Place. Great job. And they only charge like was that $600? Are you serious right now? Hold on a second. Let me go check this out. 1150 for a sofa sleeper with the ottoman. Are you kidding me? 977. Yeah. Itbis is $175. Jesus. And that's 1152.86. Wow. That is a deal. Um, just so you know, in America, you're probably gonna have to spend damn near 25 to 3,000 for it. Just so you guys understand. And you know what the other thing is? The other thing is oftentimes you can actually have some other if your room was bigger, but in the DR, you don't want you're in a condo. But if you want to do something crazy, you can actually extend stuff and get things specially made. But this is great pricing. 5 grand for a full one bedroom, plus is going to cost extra for the blender, the the toaster, the coffee maker. But altogether, that's only $100, if that. Microwave probably comes with the white line, so he's in for 5,300, ladies and gentlemen. And he's not even using special made. Well, I shouldn't say not. Some of this is kind of. He's not using anything special. The stove, maybe on the table. But other than that, he's not even. So, man, 5 grand, 5,300 all in, delivered. Come on now. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Now, if you want to do something crazy, yes, you can add on about another 2 grand. Special stones, special chair colors. But I'm impressed with the 1152 sofa sleeper. That's impressive. That's worth its weight in gold. You can sleep 4 people now. This is the first quote from them. Still need some customization, but I like their numbers. Another step will be to visit in their showroom. That's right. That's right. Go see Joel Jarrett. I don't know Jay Red. I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't think I know who that is. Yep. Go to the showroom. That's funny. Yep. See if Joel's there. Like I said, tell him. Telling you, hey man, I'm part of the SSN Nation. I'm glad I met you, even though it's an accident or not. But either way, uh, it'll be all good, man. All good. All good. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Hopefully, the empire's crumbling. But see, here's the situation. EV Place has a property in Dominican Republic. He found a cheap place to get location to furnish his 1 bedroom. The funniest part is when you think about it, if he had a 2 bedroom, the only difference is a second bedroom set, right? So he would have the same bed. So the leather and solid wood frame and high resilience sponge and rib frame, $859 would be another 859. The mattress 570, and then the intake. Well, there's 2 already, so he already has 2 more end tables, 382. So he would be at around $1,800 more. 2 bedroom for 7 grand. Come on, man. And then of course we got to have a flat screen, but so what? You can get those cheap now. 65 incher, what, 300. So 2 grand more. He's got his second bedroom finished, and you got to have some picture, right? Got to have nice pictures in there. Got to have a fan. If they don't already, got to get fans, whatever. Okay, let's just run it up to 8 grand. 8 grand, 2 bedrooms, fully furnished, as long as you have white line and your AC. Done. That is freaking awesome. I was trying to tell people EV Place for the last 3 years. I've been telling them, don't sleep on OP. Don't sleep. Thanks, Eric, for sharing this company. I will save 20K on setup for a 2 by 1 bedroom apartments comparing to the developer package. Exactly, man. And your package isn't going to be some garbage stuff from IKEA, because that's pretty much where they're going. I mean, I like I said, I'm unimpressed. I stay at Coral Village, ladies and gentlemen, which is Noval Properties. All Noval. Okay, I stayed at Paseo del Mar, which is in Los Corrales as well. And I stayed in their 1 and 2 bedrooms. They have the same furniture in all of them, the same sofa, sleeper, or sofa. It's not a sleeper, it's a sofa that opens up, and that's where they allow people to put like extra towels or cleaning supplies or whatever. I'm like, where's the sofa bed? That's crazy. But nonetheless, it's always fabric, it's not scotch guarded, it's already run down in less than 2 years. I mean, most places need replacement, but they're not doing it, right? Because they're still getting their 50, 60, $70 per night. But for me, it has to be replaced, but people are like still like using it. So that's one of the downfalls when you don't have the quality, or if you don't have the quality, you have to scotch guard for sure. And you got to do it even if you do have quality. But if you don't, then the wear and tear is going to just be worse faster. And people aren't willing to go out here, because I'm pretty sure when they go up there, they're getting that cheap stuff, and they're still going to have to spend more than what they're being charged by OP, and they don't know about OP, right? Noval is like telling them, go down here and get this, even though they don't manage it, do any rentals for them. But the fact of the matter is, at Coral Village, there's units where you can tell that it's time, because they have high occupancy because of where they're located, right? It's not like they have 20% occupancy rates. These guys have 50, 60, 70% occupancy rates. So there's a lot of turnover. They're even renting stuff where people stay there for 2 months. And so there's a lot of wear and tear. So again, this is why you have to get quality furniture at the right price, even if you did have to pay a little more. But because there's Opine sitting there at this time in Punta Cana, and you can get this type of quality furniture, and you can even go steps further for an extra. If he wanted to spend $10,000, he would have special different color chairs to match his themes. He could do all kind of fabric changes, all kind of stone changes on his dining table. He could do it on the coffee table, all kind of crazy stuff you can do. So that gives you it stands out. So when people leave, they're like, oh, that's impressive. That place was cool. And it lasts longer too, with better quality. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy, EV Place, that you went there and allowing people to understand. And you know what's very interesting? We've been talking about Opine for a while, but the funny part is everybody has pre-construction projects that aren't delivered yet after 3 years. So there's no reason for somebody to go down there and buy anything when you have 10, 20, 30 people that own it Larimar. They're not going to Opine anytime until another 3 years from now. People who bought it Atlantis, they're not going to be built for another 2 or 3 years. The people who bought it Panorama Garden, Panorama Lake, Wave, Unique, all in Vista Cana, Urbe Vista, Urbe Lux, they're not built. I mean, that's like 50, 60 people that have units in limbo. This is crazy. Panorama Luxury. Okay, well, good luck. That'll be another year and a half. Lagoon Residences. It's been 5 years. That's still not built in Vista Cana. Another 3 or 4 people own there. I mean, it's like if stuff was delivered, Opine would be like stacked. People would have some awesome locations, awesome places that beat everybody. And people would come in their spot and be like, oh man, you must have spent like 25, 30 grand for this. Because the furniture package I have, they told me my 2-bedroom was 20 grand. And it doesn't look nothing like this. And you're like, try 10, try 8. I mean, that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. All right, ladies and gentlemen, great job, EV Place. And once again, thank you for listening and actually going forth, checking them out, because that's half the battle. And then getting the quote, that was even better. So, that's what's going on. Okay, I don't know what this is. I was doing some simulations. The Gemini. Okay, I know what it means now. Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm still going to make a choice between short-term and long-term. If tourist numbers are dropping, I might consider long-term rental. Yeah, EV Place. This is where it's going, quite frankly. The numbers are dropping. It depends on your locations. By the way, where is your location? What place is your 1-bedroom that you're ordering this for? Where is that going to be at? I don't even remember. Let me know, because we can talk about it. But the thing is, if you bought at the right price, you can do LTR, or you can interchange LTR with CTR or STR, short-term rentals and long-term rentals. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If his 1-bedroom, let's just say his 1-bedroom costs $50,000. And now we'll include, he bought, let's just say all in, he was 60 grand. Now, and so let's just say, here's very, very important factor. The people that live in DR, generally, they don't live in high-end locations because they know it's going to cost more money. But if you buy something for 60,000 and you can get $600 per month, which a lot of Dominicans can get, but at Coral Village, they're charging $1,000, 1,100 for their one bedrooms, and they're nothing special for the month. Just so you guys know. All right. So if I have $600, I can charge $600. I win. He's telling me right now. You're talking about the two one bedroom penthouses. Okay, see, look how much yeah, I know, the Blue Marlin. And by the way, once again, Blue Marlin, I love their developer. The dude was honest. He told me what was going on. I wish I would have known about this Blue Marlin. And I found out about it after it was built, because the reason why is because it was sold out. So I never even knew about it until we were invited to their party, their opening party. Yeah, see, look at this. 57 grand for a one bedroom penthouse in Ocean View. See, he's going to easily be able to get, I don't even know, 800, 900, 1,000 a month long-term rental. He still wins. $10,000 a year gives him double-digit returns. $8,000 a year gives him double-digit returns. And he's in Los Corrales. Even though it's not the ideal spot, because I had to drive down and then I made a right, and it's right off the main road. It's not like crazy. But the thing is, he's in the right location at where they're building up. So he's going to be one of the winners because he was able to get this at 57 grand. Unbelievable. That's a blessing in disguise. He's got two of them. And he can't, in my view, he can't lose either way, because right now they're charging $50 per night. He can easily get 60 or 70 at this point. Now, I don't know the occupancy rate right now. I still think it's probably 50%. So he doesn't need to do much. So the reason I'm saying that is, you guys, here's what happens. Math does not lie. All right. So I'm going to do something real quick, and then we're going to be out of here in about 5 minutes. If he does 365 divided by 2, that's 50% occupancy, 182 days. Right? 182 days times 60. That's $10,950 gross. Okay? What you don't understand is in Los Corrales, the occupancy rate is 68 to 71%. That is the only area that has that high of occupancy rate. All right? In Punta Cana, just so you know. He wins. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, I subtract 30%. It's actually 10.9, by the way. So we're close to 11. 30% is 3,300. So let's minus 3,300 just for expenses, let's say. That's still $7,650. So as you do investments, you go, how much do I make this year? I'll even take off another 1,000 to make it. I'll take off another 1,000 just because I want to. So he's down to 6,650. So I go by how much I bought the place for, and I say, okay, I divide that by 57,000, and I say 11.6%. Now, first year, 50% occupancy, and I'm going to do that type of double digits. This is why I use 0.1%, because he can rent it $57 per night Actually, there'd be no reason for him to do that. He has a penthouse unit, so he gets a premium. So I use 60 to be conservative, but he should be more than even 60 probably. And he should get nice rentals. But right now, even if he just $65 per night and he ends up getting 50% rentals, but if he did $60 a night and says, I have a penthouse that has ocean view, that would be wild. He'll have 70 to 75% occupancy, even in a low, even in a low tourist environment, because people are going to go just like me. They're going to go, okay, Coral Village, I can pay just what happened last week, 250 a night or $50 per night and stay at Coral Village. But then Coral Village also has something weird where people think it's something a little better, and all of a sudden it's $325 for the 4 nights. And if he has the same price, $320 penthouse unit for 4 nights, people are going to be like, uh, I'll spend the extra $20 per night. I have ocean view and it's a penthouse and the place looks this cool. I don't care if I have to walk an additional quarter mile. I'm good. I still got shops over here on this section. So that's where we're going. And that's why you always, again, buy upscale luxury if you can. A penthouse with ocean view gives you an advantage over 99% of other properties. You have space, you have a cool spot, you have upstairs, and you have cool furnishing, and you have a cool host, and that place looks clean as hell. That's a win. And you never know where the sky is, because when there's a pickup on the economy, then you win even more. And that's why post-retirement travel at his Margaritaville, he bought that for $300,000, his 2-bedroom, I guess, I don't know what to call it, a townhouse or a villa, but $300,000 in 2018, 2017, because I myself had a chance to go buy one of those for 250. And then the furniture package was 50 grand because they get Ethan Allen, the best furniture actually that is made. And it lasted 5 years with them guys having like an 80 to 85% occupancy rate. But 3, 4, 5 years in, they were charging people 500, 550 per night with an 80% occupancy rate. Do you understand 200 room nights at $500 per night average? That's $100,000, ladies and gentlemen. You can take off the 30%, 2 or 3% for the 65 grand a year on a $300,000 purchase. Can anybody say 30%? So see, you have to put yourself in position, and that's what EV Place has done. Great price, great purchase, great idea, great. I didn't even know nothing about them guys. It's a little late, but I have inside info that will be ready on September. What's that? What's that? What? Wait, where? Whoa! Don't is it Blue Marlin? What is it? Don't leave me hanging, man. What's happening? We'll be ready in where? What? Who? Are there units left? Let's just give me. You better spring at EV Place. Don't be out here doing this, man. You got to give the SSNH something. Is it the one downtown? Because it's been 2.5 years. It's been two years. Because they were building something downtown to this day, or near downtown. It's not in downtown. It was. He told me it was on out of downtown. If it are you saying they're going to be done? Because I don't know how much they are. All I know is, like I said, I've seen their property, and I look. It's nothing special. It's condo and a pool. I mean, it's nothing special. I don't know what they're doing downtown, but I want to hear it, man. Break it out. Let's go. Let's go, man. Come on, don't be shy now. Because I don't know the guy. You know what? you know what's weird? I don't even know how to get in touch with the guys at Blue Marlin. That's the funny part. I actually talked with the owner of the damn place. Him and a few other guys. We're drinking champagne and everything. And that's what I'm saying. He told me what he was doing. But at that time, I didn't have SSN lifestyle. I was just there, doing it. And then I was like, wait a minute, man. After I met him, I was like, man, I should have had their contact info. And I hardly run into any brokers or anybody that sells their properties. So that's another thing which is weird. Come on, EV Place. Are you not going to entertain me tonight with this info? Please. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging, man. Come on. Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that, man. All right, let's see if EB Place is gonna. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's see what's happening. Okay, they were scheduled to be ready on May, 89% ready, but they have another 3 months of delay. I don't care about any of that. So what's the deal? What's the deal? And so yeah, but are we talking about in your place? Or are we talking about the one downtown? First of all, why don't we just talk about if it's your place, how much are they selling the units for now? I know not everybody's going to buy their place. Let's just get real. Cuz it is a condo project. I mean, this is not anything special. It's like Coral Village. They have a pool area which again, my experience in the DR so far is very interesting with pools. When I've stayed at every apartment complex, there is not a lot of people in the pool. Because you'll be surprised, a lot of people don't want to go in a pool because of foreign objects. Meaning, a lot of people are like, okay, there's chlorine in the water, but people's sun, skincare product, lotions, people go peeing in the pool. That's what I mean by foreign objects, right? So a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, I don't even want to go in the pool. And quite frankly, there's rarely a ton of people in a pool at an apartment complex. A few kids, maybe a few adults every now and then, but there's rarely a lot of people. Rarely. And there's rarely if there's usually more people would be sitting by the pool in the lounger. But the problem with that is no reason to sit by the pool in the lounger. We can sit on your deck in the lounger. I mean, so there's rarely people around a pool. And my whole thing on an island, the pool thing is just doesn't really matter that much. Most people are like, oh, I'll just go to the ocean. Or some people are like, F the pool altogether, like me. I'm like, I'm not going swimming. All right, let's see what he's got to say, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I know which ones. That's cool. My place is Los Corrales, Blue Marlin 2. They're building some more townhouses next by. Really? Are you? You're probably. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking about. It's by Blue Marlin 2, right? Isn't it like when you come in or something? Because it was nighttime. And I went down through this section and they were started, we're doing this over here. And I think, yeah, 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 yeah. That's okay. I know where the townhomes are. But anyhow, I'm more interested in what the secret is. What is the secret? Yeah, I know about the townhouses, man. But the reason why, see, here's the thing. That night at the party, they were saying we're starting downtown in a month. Then they were like, then we're also going to be doing something over here, and he was pointing towards the water. He was like, yeah, yeah, it's down that way. That's where we're going to be building some more like townhomes or something. So yeah, he told me everything. But again, nobody markets it. None of any broker that I'm involved with, doesn't market blue marlin. I've only seen blue marlin on like one sheet of different brokers. So it might be a Remax thing. I don't know because I don't F around with Remax. But yeah, there's 4 or 5 pools. Yeah, he said this is what where our first section is, and it was sold out. He said, but we got a phase 2, and he said we already started building. But the only thing now is I was under the impression it was 100% sold out. So he said the next spot you can buy is Blue Marlin downtown. Then he said it's not really downtown, it's outside of downtown, but it's going to be considered downtown. And I said, oh, you've seen the plans? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, well, I'd prefer that I was outside. I don't want to be downtown like where Coco Bongo is and all that, because there's going to be always a ton of people walking around through because of all the activity down there. I said, I'd rather be out on the other side of San Juan Plaza. And he goes, yeah, it's going to be over there outside of that where it's down. And he said some kilometer or something. So I was like, that, well, that's kind of perfect spot. You can still walk a little to it, maybe. That would be good. Or far enough away where you're not all in the traffic. Because you guys know what it's like being around downtown when it's freaking 3, 4, 5, 6 in the day. Trying to come down that one road, man, no. No, no, no. I don't want to be there. All right. So let me know. Hey, man, you didn't mention the September surprise, man. September surprise. Come on now. Eric, this was like in a story with The Ring. Lifetime opportunity. I have 3 days to make a decision. Am I buying those two or not? Penthouses and its price never were posted on the official market. EV Place, man. I'm very happy for you, man. Right place, right time, right info. You have to be involved. This is part of investing, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be in it to win it. You get lucky when you're in it and actually doing it. Here's a perfect example. He was actually in it, looking for it, was serious. He had an opportunity. They gave him 3 days, not 24 hours, not 12 hours, not 3 hours. They were gracious enough to give him 3 days. And his mind as an investor said, because he is trained, he studied hotelier, hotelier. And so 57 grand for a 1 bedroom penthouse. Come on. Come on, ladies. And white line included. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Even if it doesn't. And when you say ocean view, hold on now. 57, they could have easily said 99 and people would have bought it. But 57, that's unheard of. That's crazy. All right, man. But I will let you know if it shows up. Hold on, I must have missed something here. Eric, it was like lifetime. Oh, penthouse and this price never were posted on the official market. Oh, that's why I didn't see or hear of it. Wow. Okay, well, what was this? Wait, you told me, did I misconstrue something? Hold on a second. Hold on, what's this right here? I want to know about this. Info that they will be ready in September. Oh, you mean your penthouse units? Oh, I don't really care about if they were going to deliver in May and they just because every contract is 180 days. Like I told people, I'll give you 180 days. All contracts give you 6 months. So if you deliver within 6 months after you said delivery date, that's a win. So I don't really care about that. So if they just deliver in September, October, November, I mean, that's still fine. And we're not talking about they were going to deliver and then here it is freaking 2027 and acting like everything's fine. Then no, that's cool. Um, okay, so by the way, EV Play, send me an email, please, or Instagram message or something. Let me know who you're talking to. Are you talk? Oh, by the way, you can let me know now. Who are you going through when you bought it, Blue Marlin? If it's the developer directly, I need their info because I don't even know who the developer is at Blue Marlin. Quite frankly, I mean, I met the guy he was standing on stage talking afterwards. I got introduced to him. We chopped it up for a little bit. E. White Mo was there because I called him up and I said, hey, man, come over here, check it out. Gwen was there. I think Gwen's responsible for us being there. G was there. Big George, big George Charles was there. So all of us were there. The guy was gracious, nice. Didn't know me or anybody from anybody. He was just nice. They were just like, "This is Eric," and you know. And I said, "Hey man, what's going on around here?" He's like, "This," and he started describing all this stuff. And then after that, never heard from, never was able to find him. So that's cool. All right, so you're talking about my appointments are delayed from September 2024, so 1 year total. Yeah, I don't. I'm happy somebody gets a delay of 1 year, not four, not three, not five. Like what's about to happen with Larimar, who knows? But I'm anticipating a 4 year, 2029 delivery of the tower units. I I they, I just don't see one tower unit is going to be done. Three tower units in 4 years, I'm skeptical. Five tower units in 4 years, skeptical. Six tower, no. That's 2029, by the way. They owe owners five towers that are 17 stories high. Soon as December 2026 rolls around, they'll owe seven towers at least. They are not building seven towers in 5 years. And the reason I can confidently say this is Moon Palace, with its crew of hundreds of people, who is, what are they, 18 stories high? 18. They have taken 4 or 5 years to date, and they're still not done. And they're building a hotel, which they're nice hotels, so it's almost like condo suites and stuff, but still. So I'm not following how these guys are magically going to do 2 years or 3 years. Doesn't make sense to me. So we'll find out. Okay. I will reach out to you on Insta. I have a great friend who is running a real estate there with a lot of connections. That'll work. Bitcoin is now 111. You guys better get your Bitcoin. It's on another hot streak. Wow. Yep. Got to get some more. I remember he said in 2021 that this tower project was never going to happen. EV place. He was right, because at that time, if you're talking about the Larimar Towers, at the time it was called something else that a lot of people don't know. It started with an S. I think it was like Shelby or Shemby or something like that. And they also was going to do one in Santo Domingo. The one in Santo Domingo went bye-bye, no way, no how. Then the Claire HP group somehow got part of this Shelby, whatever it was. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. And that's when they took it over in 2022. And then they kind of tweaked things and made them a little nicer. And everybody, even back then, said it'll never happen. Everybody goes, it's never going to happen, not going to happen. It's a lie. It's fake. It's whatever. Well, the problem with that was they have documentation. They control the land. They had building, they had permission from La Altagracia, Verone. They got stuff signed. Just like right now, they have an environmental impact report done. The question is, again, building on something, and apparently might have been the dump, or I don't know what the full situation is, but people, there's like, there's no way. And so again, we're all waiting to see because it's on a cliff, on a volcanic cliff, rocks everywhere. So the $1 million question is, like me, I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, okay, so when are they going to start digging the holes for the footings for even the first building? Because you're going to have to drill down or go down deep to hold a 17-story building. You can't just lay down cement. You're going to need footings. And because the earth can move there, I would hope, it's a long shot, but I would hope that you would do something like a San Francisco-esque type of thing where it can move a few inches after you have it into the bedrock, the footing. How far down are they going to have to go? I'm thinking pretty far. The jetta of the plateau is like 100 feet high. So where are they going to, how far do they have to go down for the funnies and the way they're busting rocks? That's my guess. I'm just scared because I'm like, what are you guys doing? How's it going to happen? I want to see it, you know? So it's going to be very interesting. That's one for the ages. But yeah, that's what everybody was telling me too, man. It's not going to happen. But I saw the paperwork there. So my thing is, because of the way they're handling themselves, I do not agree with, nor like, nor think it's a great business move by not telling people what's going on and not giving their existing buyers a deal saying, well, now it's too late because within 4 months or 5 months or 4 months, everybody's going to have put in their last payment or before that. So it's already too late to give the goodwill. They could have given the goodwill a year and a half ago, like I tried to tell them, and say, hey, man, just extend everybody's thing about 12 to 18 months. And people will be happy. They would still be here patiently waiting if you gave them their payments went down to half, because that's about what 18 months would have done. And so they would be all right. They're cool. It's all good. They're making this little progress wouldn't mean as much. But now that people have given 50, 60% or 40 to 60% by September or December 2025, and all they're going to have to show for it is maybe, if they're lucky, foundation with the first floors on one or two buildings. I mean, that is tough to take after you've given 60 grand or 50 grand, right? And then they're not telling you when their estimated time of delivery is, knowing full well they're going to have to tell you 2029, 2028. People aren't going to be too happy. So I don't know why they didn't just give goodwill. There wouldn't have been any skin off their back, and they would have had thousands of people saying, hey, man, these guys said they're not going to deliver. They're the only people that did it. So look, my place hasn't been built yet, but I don't have anything bad to say. It's not like I want my money back. I'll just pay the half, and that way we'll see what happens. But this thing that's happening now has stopped some money coming in for them, because several people are sitting there like, how do we even know this is going to happen? I'm not even going to send any money in anymore. Yeah, people whose delivery dates were before now. And they were going to actually keep making more payments to make their possibly pay it off before delivery. Now they're like, I'm not even going to make extra payments. I didn't gave my 40, 50%. Forget that, because I don't know what's going to happen. And now I don't even know if I can get my money back. So they put themselves in an economic situation unnecessarily. when they could have been the good guys. I'm talking with, I was telling Seven Palms the same thing because they're going to be delayed because of the Haitian situation. They're fine. This is going to be their first time that they're going to be delayed. They're not going to meet the 180-day situation, 180-day delivery. So they're going to have a problem. And I told them, I said, you guys should, I would recommend, I said, I'd promote you again, but the only way I'm doing it is if you give people at least a 1 year, same thing, 1 year, 1.5 year delivery, because you can't deliver in 2026 when you haven't even, you can't build right now. You have to get a new developer. And where are you going to get a new developer from when all the other developers that lost their Haitian workers, they also are out of business? So where are you going to get these workers? And what's the other developer means you have to wait till they finish their current development. When's that going to be? A year, year and a half? What? So you're just going to let people keep making payments? And then when 2026 May comes and you're like, oopsie, you can find yourself in lawsuits, fighting lawsuits unnecessarily for no reason. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to run. All right. Thank you so much, EV Place, and everybody that's been here tonight. I appreciate your support. See you on Friday night for the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And if this keeps going, this meltdown, remember, you have to buy when meltdowns occur. And there's going to be another meltdown. It's happening, apparently, because it dropped again today, but it didn't melt down that much because the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 apparently didn't go down. Stock futures are flat after big sell-off on deficit concerns. Deficit concerns, man, they're about to do the spending bill that's going to cost $4 trillion and no way to pay it back. So, and then to add fuel on the fire, you're going to have Jay Powell coming out and in 2 months talking about negative 0.25. 10-year yield is at 4.6. Your treasury spiked to 5%. Ooh, God dang. Can you guys imagine? 5% on $1 trillion in interest payments every year? Just 1 trillion. Not damn. Never mind 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4 trillion. Ooh, $200 million taxpayers would have to pay every year. Wow. Mm. Mm. Wow. All right. Scary times. The meltdown. The empire is crumbling. Great talk tonight. Thanks and stay cool. Thank you, man, for the updates and the information because we can help people out. They have a lifeline. There's no reason to pay that crazy money. Right? So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Trump is trying to push Haitians back home. I know. Offering them 1K and no sanctions, man. I know, man. I know. I know. You know, isn't it scary that somebody says, I'm going to give you 1K to go back to a country that's in turmoil? People are shooting people in the street. You have gangs killing people, doing trafficking, doing drug activity, and people who said, I'm trying to come here and better my life. I have a visa. I have a work visa. I have protected status because it's dangerous in my country. And this guy says, here's $1,000, go back. No compassion, no mercy, no nothing. But yet I got some white South Africans who are literally after apartheid are sitting here. He's accepting them as refugees who are not under attack, who are not, I mean, this is insanity to me. They're not under attack. They are being discriminated against, like it's Jim Crow esque, but it's not Jim Crow esque. The difference between when it was apartheid and when Black people took over the government is that apartheid had their white only, get off the sidewalk, total Jim Crow stuff, where the Black people are like, we're going to take back reparations, the stuff your family stole, Belgians. You're not from here. We were. You stole our stuff. We'll take our stuff back. We'll let you guys have some of your stuff over here, there, wherever, but we're going to take part of it because it was our stuff you stole. So that's looked as trauma. Now, the thing is, if the Black people were killing the white people and also telling them to move, give up 100% of everything, that still is not equal what's happening in Haiti, what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Mexico, what's happening in Colombia. It's not even close. Where you're having cartels roll up to your pad, take your daughter, go traffic her, and then say, you're going to sell drugs for us, be a mule, or we'll kill the remaining people in your family. I mean, that ain't happening. I mean, this is wild how some people are like, oh, they're being discriminated. They can come refugees, they're safe. But other people who real life are dealing with life and death situations by walking on the street. Oh no, you can't come here. You can't. I'm like, this is insane. And by the way, you do understand that trying to create an apartheid state with Jim Crow-esque rules and an authoritarian regime cannot work without civil war scenarios. That's where this is going to end up if somebody doesn't get balls on the table and start acting like they understand we have a constitution and we have laws. Because every time you deteriorate laws and you allow people to do things to other individuals and not do anything and stand by, sooner or later something's going to break. And this is one of the problems. If something does break and there is any civil war-esque type things going on in America, do you not understand that's a meltdown of the markets and that's a meltdown of any investments in the United States, which now means your US dollar is worthless? You do understand this, I hope. That also means any assets that you think are assets right now are not going to be assets because nobody's coming to invest. And damn sure nobody's buying no crap that you think is worth anything from you. 200,000 Ukrainian people also on the list, of course. They would probably look white. But why isn't the Palestinians on the list who's getting bombed as we speak? 50 to 100,000 innocent people killed. So we can clear for beachfront property. You guys might want to look at some pictures from like 1960, 1955 of Palestine. You'll be quite shocked. Some awesome looking resorts, shops. Vacation spots. See how the rich people operate? It's all right to do murder and mayhem over assets, whether it's right or not. The NFL owners, Jim Irsay, passed away at 65. Good God. Wow. 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 A guy who has all that money, could take care of himself. You never know when your time's up, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you better live your life the best way you can. And karma is a bitch. All right. And that applies to him. Karma is a bitch. Check out his history. Interesting character. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up for the evening because you guys know how I can go on the dark side. I don't see Joe Nay tonight to egg me on any further. So once again, thank you so much. I love you guys very much, and I appreciate your support. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And once again, in 2 days, the salsa dance is going down because bing, 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 bings for some heavy hitters on the third week of the month is heavy hitters in the dividend space with Yield Max ETFs, PLTY. SMCY is coming up next week, I believe. That's another heavy hitter, which could be $2, $3, $4. And we have the weeklies coming out. And if you missed that list, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. With the global news, they're telling you already, and tomorrow could be dividend day, ex-dividend dates, but I don't think so, because I think it was today, but who knows? Find out. And once again, it's getting late. Thank you so much for being here. Be safe out here, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't know what anybody's going through right now. Everybody is in danger. If you're retired and you're worried about your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, you should have every right to be. That's stress. People die from stress. All right? People have health problems because of stress. Some people are worried about their jobs. That's stress. Some people are worried about their jobs and how they're going to make ends meet this month. Don't be that person if you have disposable income. If you can wipe out your debts, please get rid of them. We need you to have a high credit score. Down below, get the smart credit monitoring system that can help you improve your credit. We need you at 775 by 1 year, 7 months. Why? The credit market is going to get all effed up. It's going to get messed up. It's going to get messy. When they come out on the other side, there's going to be offers for people that have excellent credit. So you don't have nothing to worry about on that front. That's why I need you at 775 or above. Because then, even if you don't have the money, you'll be able to buy assets. And I'm not referring to you got to have, you're going to need probably some income, but I guarantee you one thing. It's going to be something like a 2006, 2005 era where they're going to lower the standards because they need to move derivatives. Meaning if you buy a loan, if I can get you to buy something for 400 grand, that's all I need because the paper's worth more than the 20% down, the 10% down. I want to resell the paper. So I go to somebody and I sold 10 of these and that's $4 million. And I say, who'll give me 1.5? You guys take the risk on collecting the money for the next 30 years. So if I can keep doing that, every 10, I can get 1.5, or let's just say every 10, I can get $1 million. So if I'm a developer and I'm going to do 100 homes, come on, $10 million because you came to my model homes, signed papers saying I'm buying. Thank you very much. Now we start building, or whoever bought it, they're building, and you're off on your merry, merry way, living your best life. No risk other than the original risk of starting it, getting model homes, whatever you're doing, you're out of it. The people got to get their mortgage. They got to qualify. When it's done, you don't have to worry about. You're done. You got your 10 mil. The other people, okay, cool. They're sitting on 100 mil. I think something like that. But they have to wait 30 years to get that. You're out. Like I said, all you need is at this day and age, it, if you're messing around right now with option income ETFs and you're getting these type of returns are going to be good. I believe you every month you got 24 to 36 months to enjoy getting this type of return without pulling out. You could actually stay here and get your 50, 60 to 100% potential distribution out of it. And if you can do that just for 2 years, a 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 portfolio will explode because you're not just buying yield max ETFs. You should also have real Apple, whatever your favorites are, because I'll Teslas, Apples, Microsoft, Nvidias. You should have those stocks, right? VOO, VTI, VCR. Those are funds you should have. JEPQ, JEPI, if you want 10 to 13% return on dividends, safe and sound with JP Morgan. So you will have a situation where you could actually have a startup of a $300 or $400 per month. And your first year, you have 6,000, 6,200 in your account. And even if you did nothing, the next year you could have almost 12, not 12, but 10 or 11. Do nothing. Then it's up to 14, 15 the following year. Do nothing. And you could be up to 20, 25. Do nothing. Notice I said do nothing. What if you actually were adding another 5,000 a year to it? Now all of a sudden you're in the 40,000 range in 3 to 4 years. And being 20 years old, being 30 years old, being 40 years old, 50 or 60, that means you have an opportunity, because now if you have that 40 or 50 and you are into the dividend funds and you are getting 20% return, 25% or even 30% return on your money, you're getting $1,000 per month that you can take out. That's going to go a long way in 3 years. 4 years. USA empire is crumbling, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want it to suck you in, suck you up, crumble on top of your head. You have every opportunity. Get your links. Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo, they're all down below. They give you free shares of stock. Webull and Moomoo, put $100 in. That's the only way that's going to trigger the free shares of stock. Robinhood gives you a free share of stock regardless. So use the links, please, down below. Also, join us Friday for the Financial Friday, and we'll talk some more. Bring your own comments. Brian P., I see you, man. I see you. All right, Mr. Dividend. Hopefully, I'll see you this weekend. I know you sent me some emails. I'll be checking them out tomorrow. I'm going to have a busy, busy weekend. I got some air conditioning duty to do. I learned a little more about air conditioning. The AC went out because the blower's not cutting on. I think I know what the problem is, but there is a man that knows what to do, so they're coming over tomorrow. So I didn't get to go with my AC education, but I started it because I started figuring out how to test stuff and do things like that. Is posting out the 24 volts is going out down to the unit. I just didn't go testing after the guy said I'll be over at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. I was like, all right, fine. I am not going to go any further then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, make sure you stay safe out here. because you just never know in a crumbling empire what is coming next. So stay tuned, be safe, keep calm under all circumstance and a level head. You stay calm, you can think rationally. Even when somebody's yelling at you, you should just be calm, not have them invoke you to do something crazy to them. People like lawsuits. So just make sure you stay safe out here. And above all, make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.